the Oracle of Apollo at Delphi, Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce, soothsayers and fortune-tellers of world renown, all made uncanny predictions that seemed to come true with startling accuracy. In modern times, it is difficult for most people to name a source that has given us such accurate predictions of the future as those as we have gotten in the past. But is it possible that we could place Homer Simpson in the ranks of great prognosticators? Currently the longest scripted show ever to air, The Simpsons have a permanent seat in global pop culture. During its time on the air, the show has given the world countless jokes and a number of wild and entertaining plotlines. Recently, though, some viewers have begun to remark on the curiously high number of accurate predictions the show has included in their writing. The Apple Watch, Trump for president, the Higgs boson particle, and many more events of recent times all seem to have been shown to have been included in jokes or plots of the long-running comedy show long before they actually came to pass. This case file, join the theorists as they go into dope overload with The Simpsons predictions.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing, Case File 88. The Simpsons.
That's enough. We'll get copyright. We'll get lawsuit.
Sued. Fox will not have it. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
Andrew.
Holy
I'm
shit.
Dan.
Fucking Andrew's got Mongoose Studios set up and he's fucking forgets how it works.
Up and running.
Mongoose,
it's all
Mongoose
good.
Studios is not professional.
Oh, it's as professional as it gets, man. Should see it in here.
Just a quick.
How's that mic stand?
That's fucking great. My arm's already getting sore.
How long was the setup today?
Oh, dude, it was like 20 minutes. I had him on FaceTime. I'm like, yo, go to the top left of your screen. He's like in the top right. I'm like, yo, you're left. He's like, oh yeah, there's nothing here. I'm like, you're left. Left, man.
Your other left.
You're left. You got it. It's at the top. No, the top. Like the very top. The top.
Listen,
The
I'm
top.
I'm holding the fucking cell phone in my hand, the microphone in my other hand, and trying to fucking scroll.
Yeah, I
You're
felt like
asking
I was on a
lot.
roller coaster, man, trying
It was
to
a
fucking watch
fucking
your
nightmare.
screen, walk you through this.
I got fucking Tourette's.
Thank God I fucking fixed all this audio equipment. That was painful last time.
That was crazy.
I was
That was pretty
so
brutal.
I sat here for an hour trying to figure this dumb shit out. Andrew, I missed we had my computer auto updated, so everything didn't work. And it took me an hour to get everything set up, and I caught the last 2 minutes of the last podcast.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus, really?
You came in like a wrecking ball too, just screaming into the mic.
It's just an unstoppable Mack truck of sound.
Jesus.
I was so mad. And it was such an accomplishment for me.
You're like,
Audio Kool-Aid man.
I am God, screaming. Into the mic.
Yeah, just like crashing through the.
Listen, brother.
People loved it though.
Yeah, it was funny.
Know what
People
I've
liked it.
seen. You don't know what I've heard. Yeah. Let's get right into some space news. Fuck, man, people have sent a ton of space news to go through. This is the most space news I've ever had.
Oh no.
Partly because I had it all lined up for last time and it fucked up, so I was like, well, I'll save all this. Lots of it's
Double space news?
yeah, some
Double
like
space.
double space news and shit.
Super
But
space.
first I wanted to say, Mr. Conspiracy messaged me.
Oh.
He's in Brisbane. Anyone in Australia? Add him on Instagram, Mr. Conspiracy ATT. He claims he was witness to a UFO above the airport in Brisbane. He said a red light hovered around, it did circles, and then it shot off faster than anything he's ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sounds quite interesting.
So he said he's going to try to make a time when he can come on and tell us about it in person. So he was pretty I don't know, excited. He was just like flabbergasted, let's say that, about what he's seen.
Man, I'd be pumped if I seen something like that.
That'd be neat.
I don't
know. Australia is a pretty good place for UFOs. That's what I hear.
Yeah, there's that one case file we have to do, been requested a few times. Pine Gap, I guess, is like an Australian Area 51.
Oh, there's a Netflix show about that place.
Is there?
Yeah. Oh, it's like a missile control center or missile monitoring, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, some type of military installment.
Popped up the other day.
All right, I got SpaceX launches super accurate next-gen GPS satellite for the U.S. Air Force, dubbed GPS-3. I didn't even know I was on GPS-2.
No, we're on GPS-2. The U.S. Air Force is on GPS-3.
What happened to GPS-1?
What's GPS for?
That's what the CIA uses.
Oh,
the first advanced next generation GPS-3 satellite soared into space on December 23rd atop a 2-stage SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. I'm not actually sure like what's better about GPS-3.
It's going to be more accurate. A lot. Well, like they said, it's going to be more accurate. So even GPS now is accurate to within like a mile or two, or like within, I don't know. It's not like, like to the inch. But this one,
it's going to change geocaching for me. I'm finally going to find those fucking things.
Yeah.
Fucking walking around.
You won't be like
bushes,
walking in circles for a mile. Trying to
shitty ass hints. I got stung in the head by a bee because some fucking idiot put it like in the middle of a field, and I went in there and there was like a ground hornet's nest. I got stung in the head.
He probably just put it there on purpose.
Sounds terrible.
He probably found the hornet's nest first and then put geocache there.
Let me tell you, I don't even know if I was close. The GPS was jumping around so much.
What the fuck is geocache?
You've never geocached?
No, what the fuck is that?
It's like an app on your phone, and people like hide treasures. There's like fucking...
They're not treasure. It's junk. Hide junk.
Well, hey,
junk.
Zell, one man's trash is another man's treasure, okay?
It's junk.
I'm telling you something. If your treasure is a bunch of like 4 like army men all deformed in like a plastic egg, then go for it. Because that's what people hide.
I got a golf pencil.
Golf pencil.
So
it's so dumb. It's
so people hide shit, and there's an app that leads you to the shit that they hide.
Yeah,
like
they leave a
Easter
clue
egg kind.
and a GPS coordinate.
And you do this?
Yeah,
this is a pastime of yours.
Sometimes, if
I'm
out for a hike,
I watched him do it a couple times in Thailand.
Yeah,
it's
like
fucking hilarious.
You walk around with your phone and you look for these tiny little junk prizes.
I put on my cargo shorts and I put on my my Velcro sandals.
Oh, wow.
And your Sing Ha
and
tank top.
walking stick, and I go geocaching.
That's fucking great, man.
My fanny pack.
How do you get signed
it's
up?
Like
for that
it's
stuff?
like the young man's metal detector. Is what it is.
Yeah, but think about the fucking weird shit you could hide and make people find. It'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah. I put a Polaroid of just my face one time in someone else's.
As I said, trash.
Yeah.
It's all trash.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Gonna give somebody a heart attack.
Ouch, man. All right.
Had to. You just teed it up.
I know. Well, yeah. Good. You crushed that one. That's a record.
Line drive, baby.
Hold on.
All right. Space news. What do we got?
Deep space news.
All my shit's freezing here.
How about this for space? This isn't space news, but I gotta say it. Let's just say it really quick. How about in New York just last night, that fucking exploding blue light everywhere?
Oh yeah, that was neat. Transformer
that was
fire.
Wild.
Everyone thought like it's an alien invasion for a quick minute there.
This is it. It's Independence Day right here. Call Will Smith.
But pretty much it was just a giant electrical fault, which caused a huge arcing flash, and it just like lit up the entire sky. It was crazy.
It looks super cool. There's lots of cool pictures on it on the internet. It's super awesome.
Yeah, check it out.
Look neat.
Check it out.
Yeah. Hashtag look it up. Fucking the cat scratching at the door. Wants in real bad.
Fuck off.
Fuck that. Yeah.
Podcasting.
What else do I got here? Mars Express beams back images of ice-filled Korolev crater.
Yeah, it was cool.
Ah.
A trapped layer of cold air keeps water frozen in 50-mile wide impact crater. There's water, there's life, motherfuckers. There's life.
Something there.
Could very well be. It's a good place to look. It's a good place to start looking.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We're finding water there.
We got big old ice craters.
We're finding life in the water there. When are they sending something that can actually do some tests? 2025?
If you believe Corey Good and the boys, they've been there for 40 years.
Oh.
We'll come back to the secret space program another time.
And then the last, I'm just going to do a couple look at some missions and launches coming up in 2019. We get January 1st, NASA's New Horizons spaceship arrives at a distant solar system object, Ultima Thule, or Thule? I don't know.
Dual, yeah, that sounds cool.
Thule. The furthest object we've ever visited in the solar system. The first high-resolution images will arrive back on New Year's Day.
Oh, it's cool.
Dope.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
The best way to start out the new year.
January 3rd, we're expecting China to attempt a landing of its Chang'e 4 rover on the far side of the moon.
That's the one, man.
Like I said, just pull down even if there's an American flag, pull it down and just say they weren't there. Watch everyone go fucking nuts.
Just explode the internet with that. That'd be awesome.
We're here, there's no flag. January 17th, SpaceX is scheduled to launch its crewed Dragon 2 spacecraft on its first test flight, dubbed Demonstration Mission 1, or DM1.
Dope.
Cool.
And then we'll just do January. January 31st, India hopes to launch a lander and rover to the moon called, I have no fucking idea how to say it. So, Chandrayaan 2? I think that's it. It's going to attempt to visit the South Pole of the moon for the first time in history.
Oh,
cool.
Badass.
Cool. Everybody's going to the moon. Moon's the place to be, dude.
Thank you. Come again.
You're allowed to say it. You're allowed to say it just because
it's
what we're doing.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he's not even on Simpsons anymore. I thought they got.
I think they did get rid of him.
Yeah, he's off. He's gone now.
Bullshit.
Why?
Racial appropriation.
Political correctness.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Stuff. It's misrepresentation, kind of.
But that's how I work with a guy who talks just like that.
They did it perfect.
All the time.
And it's I don't understand why they're so upset, man. I would have been fucking jacked when I was a kid if there was a Lebanese cartoon character. You know?
Who's like, yo, bro, number one.
Fuck, bro. I get you for your number one good price only today.
That's kind of a weird one. I mean, I wonder how many white moms are upset about it. You know what I mean?
Is that who got it? Is that who was with the big
That's
uproar?
That's who I feel gets a lot of people, like where I live right now. Like, if there's any issue with that kind of stuff, it's like some white mom with like a bob haircut.
No, it wasn't. It was actually, what the hell was that? I'm sure Dan will know, isn't it? Harry Kandalu or something like that. He's a comedian and a writer, I'm pretty sure, and he's the one that kind of just. He brought it up. I'm pretty sure he wrote a book and he mentioned a poo.
Oh, the problem with that poo.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
About that book.
Yeah. And I think that's what spearheaded all this.
Oh, well,
he was a great character. So,
yeah.
Well, yeah, Hank Azaria is like a, how many other voices does he do in The Simpsons, right? Like that guy's been around since the beginning.
Well, it's like, I was never offended watching King of the Hill.
Just
you're
bunch
not
of white
Texas.
dudes on the
You're not from Texas.
Yeah, but you fucking should be. You're a carbon copy of fucking Hank Hill, man.
No way, I'm fucking
Right.
Bill Dozer.
Bill Dotry.
Oh shit.
Who was the guy who talked really fast? You can't understand a word he said.
Boomhauer.
Boomhauer, yeah. Boomhauer's the shit.
That's I'll be Boomhauer just after I smoke a lot of weed and drink a little bit. Just don't understand anything. Just
I can see it.
All right, let's fire out the Randomatron. Let's see if it spits out a story.
All right, and we're thinking at it right now.
Supernatural.
This story is just titled Supernatural, submitted by George E. Hale.
I hope it's just a recap of the show Supernatural.
Yeah. Episode,
First of all,
season
I don't
10,
believe-
episode 4.
First of all, I don't believe in the supernatural per se. That is phenomena unexplainable through the laws of nature. And I doubt aliens have ever contacted our planet. Oh, suck a dick, George E. Hale.
Dude.
That said, here goes my story. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in my younger years. It was a great experience, and any young college grad in the U.S. who is interested, I encourage to follow through and apply. One of the best decisions I ever made. Anyway, I was posted in southern Africa into a small village in the more or less center of the Kalahari Desert. They call it there Kaglagagaladi. I'm sure that's how it's pronounced.
One more time.
Real good.
One more time,
Real
please.
nice.
Kalagadi.
Okay.
What's with
Real
the
good.
fucking
Nailed
like?
it.
Why are you pronouncing it like that? I don't understand.
Because there's K and G's together. How do you pronounce a K and G together?
Definitely not a
I'm trying to like in between the two. Out there in the Bushveld, it was very easy to feel really isolated. There were no Americans in the village I lived in, and the only English speakers really were my teacher colleagues at the junior high. I had learned the national language more or less pretty well from the 14 weeks of training, but the dialect of my post was such that it wasn't easily understandable. Think as if you learned standard American English, then moved to the Appalachian Hills. That kind of difference.
There's a big difference.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah. The Appalachian Hills run through Virginia and the Carolinas.
West
and stuff.
Virginia?
Yeah.
West
Yeah.
Virginia.
Mama.
There's a definite dialectical difference.
Okay. The Kalahari Desert, you need to know, isn't a true desert in the sense that it's not this rolling wasteland of sand like the Sahel or the Sahara or the vast deserts bordering Namibia. The Kalahari has trees, shepherd trees, thorny bushes, short, hard-barked, rough trees that can survive without rain for long periods. Thanks, fucking David Attenborough. I mentioned this for what comes later.
Goddamn.
Anyway, I am sort of giving to melancholy if I have too much time on my hands. This is just my character. So in those days, I would sometimes move a sitting room chair from my little school-provided house hut out into my yard in the evening and look at stars. The stars were too numerous to believe out there, removed from any nearby city. No electric lights, as the school compound diesel-powered generator was shut off around 8. So one night, I'm sitting there, sort of basking in my introvertedness, half hoping someone will happen by and join me. Well, obviously you're not an introvert then. And something catches my eye.
Seems opposite.
You'd be like, fuck, I hope no one comes here. That's an introvert. And something catches my eye out in the bush. The bush was usually just a dark mass. It began several hundred yards out from my house, which, as I say, was on the school compound. The land for the school had long ago been cleared of trees, but right where they stopped clearing, the wild began again. Nothing was ever out there. I saw big snakes from time to time. Since they were technically on school grounds, I always killed them with a shovel. This is a great tie-in to... Isn't there a Simpsons episode that does that? Where everyone's killing snakes?
They've done everything.
Whacking day, yeah.
The local folk freaked out at snakes. Other than that, the fauna kept clear of us, and the most troublesome creatures were scorpions and my nemesis, the camel spiders that ran around in the late afternoon and evening. My point here is that I wasn't used to seeing movement out in the bush, and what was even stranger was that this thing seemed to be glowing like fire, but it was moving very fast and steady, not like someone running with a burning torch or something, but like a crackly, fiery object, about as big as a campfire, but traveling at a speed about chest level, obscured now and then by intervening trees. Suddenly, very alert, I watched for it as long as it was visible. The urge to tell someone was, of course, great, but as I say, there was simply no one else around. My reporting of this would be the next day, after I had slept the night, sort of forgetting about it. I mentioned it offhandedly, what I had seen to my neighbor, a woman, home ec teacher, maybe a year or two older than I am, who went to bed early. She was a native, for a lack of a better word. African, though, not from my village. She considered the locals to be rather simple hicks, but she became very quiet when I told the story, as if I were telling her something unseemly or thrown open a door onto an embarrassing sight. It was clear she wanted me to shut up. After a moment of what seemed like considerable effort, she told me this was how witches traveled. She spoke English and used the English word witch, and that it was considered an ill omen to see one. Around the same month, me and some other teachers hooked up the school TV VHS to a battery and watched a Stallone film, Cobra, I think. Good movie.
Badass.
Nice.
And while we were there at the school, there was a freak rainstorm with thunder and lightning. When the video finished and we emerged to go home, someone was running up to us calling my name. Lightning had struck my house, tearing part of the roof off and sending a sheet of corrugated metal into my bed.
Crazy.
I got lucky, but I never forget the sight of that fire running through the darkness. Weird. Some weird, maybe African witch omen. Big intro to that story, though.
That was quite an intro.
Ale or whatever. Well, too much
Thank you,
details.
National Geographic.
Story's over?
Get to the point. Get to the point.
That's it?
Yeah, like that story was 4 sentences.
That's
One time
the
I
story-
worked in Africa. I saw a fire, like something the size of a fire, traveling at chest height through the dark.
So
Someone said it was a witch. It's an ill omen. That's all.
yeah, and you know the Christians saw the same bush, and it told them to free the Israelites from Egypt. It's all
Allegedly.
connected, man. It's all connected.
All right. Well, why don't we get to the Simpsons here?
God damn it, Matt Groening's a fucking time traveler.
Graining.
Graining?
Graining?
Yes.
It's not Groening?
That's how it's
His last
graining.
name's not Groening?
It's graining.
My life is a lie.
See, it's all man. It's all about those dialects, right?
Who said what?
Matt Graining.
I've seen-
That's how you say his name.
I've heard so
Matt
many people
Groening.
say it Groening. So many.
I'm pretty sure it's graining.
I've heard graining too.
Okay. Matt Groening, time traveler.
Maybe
How
it's
do you get- how do you
it's a
get
Mandela
graining?
effect, boys. It's another Mandela effect.
How do you get graining
Yeah.
from Groe? Grain.
That's how
That's
they've always
the
said it,
fucking
Matt Graining.
English
I always
language
thought it
for
was
you.
groaning too when I was
It's
growing up, and then I
unbelievable.
heard an interview
Dan's-
about Futurama, and it's Matt Graining.
100%. It's graining, not groaning.
That's fucked up, man.
Not graining. My whole fucking life is a lie.
No kidding. And all the
Berenstain. It's fucking Mandela effect. That's all
yeah,
it is.
Dan, you're from a different timeline.
Yep.
Dan was sent back to join this podcast just to fuck with us,
I
probably.
was sent from the other. I shifted over.
Yeah, this is wild because
Whatever
my
the fuck
whole
his
life
name
I've
is.
never.
He's a time traveler.
Okay. So the gist of this is that the Simpsons. When did they start airing?
Like, what? 89?
89.
89.
89. yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they have some of the most uncanny predictions on their show that have come true. And not just like one or two, like numerous. And some it's almost like they've cartooned videos of some of their predictions. Dan, why don't you lead us? Which one do you want to go down first?
Oh, which one do I want to go to? Oh no! You guys
No,
check
no.
this one out because I've
Okay, here, I'll start.
Right off the
I'll
bat,
start with an
I've-
easy one. One that is it's a prediction, but it's a prediction that many people made. We'll start slow.
Yeah.
So Siegfried and Roy the guys who had the pet tigers and shit, right? The white tigers. They were eventually mauled by their tigers on stage.
Yes.
But in 1993, season 5, episode 10, the Simpsons in the episode predict this happening. It shows how like they capture the tiger and then later it's performing and then it just turns on fucking shreds the Siegfried and Roy in the show 10 years before it happened. But this one is like, well, anyone who fucks with large cats for a long time, eventually you're getting mauled. Like this is going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, it's not that much of a stretch.
But they predicted it, like, you know, pretty much exactly how it happened.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like it's, you know what I mean? Makes sense. You're fucking with tigers for that long. You're playing with fire, but still, like it's uncanny how they just it's
seems
perfectly accurate. Like it's
just one of the many things they just do like so casually in the show, and yet it's just like pretty much exactly what happens in real life. Usually years later.
Well, totally, and it like just like in the show, like it ended. I don't think like it attacked Roy, right? And I don't think he's been on stage since.
Yeah, Roy was mauled. Yeah, he was mauled by his white Bengal tiger.
And it was like, and that's the other thing too. In fucking Simpsons, it was a white tiger as well. Like the fucking similarities are ridiculous.
Yeah, like how uncommon is a white tiger?
Well,
not in that show.
That's
in the show
the
they
only
have
one
lots-
they use.
That's the famous, like that's their famous look.
They only
The
use white tigers.
Okay,
That's
so in like in '93, these guys were performing their tiger routine already.
Yeah,
they've been doing it for years.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they've been doing that for years, and I really don't put much weight behind that being a prediction. As pretty much, it's a prediction in the sense that is a high probability of happening.
That's why I'm
like it's something ironic and in its own way is funny, because you'd be like, yeah, these guys have been working with these tigers forever, and you know, they show the whole clip of them like tranquilizing the tiger and like dragging it out of its natural habitat to bring home. And anything you work with animals long enough, you're going to probably end up being attacked by one.
Well, totally.
yeah.
It's a lot of numbers.
It's a wild animal. This wild animal's only going to put up with fucking Hans and Franz for too long.
I got
they were doing Vegas shows like that for a while. Like they were doing them every night.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
And
like, they were doing lots and lots of shows.
This pretty much happens with any one of these fucking pricks that think, oh, you know what? We can have these wild animals as pets. It's gonna be all good. Like you look at the bear man. He got fucking eaten.
Yeah, it's all good until you get eaten.
Exactly. These are wild animals. Like how many people have had their fucking faces ripped off by
small
chimpanzees
monkeys?
and shit?
Like those tiny monkeys fuck people up.
Or large monkeys.
I remember my mom made me watch that fucking episode of Oprah where that lady came on where she had no
with the
fucking face.
chimpanzee.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. That was like, her face is like fucking etched into my mind.
Yeah, she ripped her face right off.
And like I've seen people without faces up close and personal, and that her face was worse.
She had the worst.
You know what I mean? It was the worst for me.
The worst non-face you've ever seen.
I think it's because it was an impressionable time.
It was, yeah, for 100%.
All right, I got one.
Yes, moving on.
Season 6, episode 19, Lisa's Wedding. This aired 1995. In this episode, which is a futuristic episode, Lisa talks to Marge on her mobile phone using video chat.
Like a FaceTime.
That comes true. FaceTime, that comes true 2010.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that are not. It's not very. This doesn't impress me.
Why not?
Dude, think about how fucking big your computer was in 1995.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. Like how many fucking look at the Ninja Turtles. Remember the Ninja Turtle comms? They were able to do the exact same thing. And that came
video
up before
phones
this.
and video watches have been around since the 1940s. Dick Tracy had one of those.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
you know what I mean?
No.
Like that.
We're
That doesn't
starting
impress
slow.
me.
We're starting slow.
I'm just saying it goes to like I'm chalking this one up to them. Maybe Turtles did it first, right? Maybe Dick Tracy did it first, but
Dick Tracy did it first.
This is, I'm building, I'm showing a pattern of predictions.
Yeah. That one, but for that one just doesn't, I'm not
It's just a
impressed.
little one,
There's a-
right? It's just, this is little. We're starting little.
Starting
Baby
small.
steps.
Starting small.
Okay.
All right.
This one's a good one. Season 20, episode 4, The Treehouse of Horror. I don't know what that number is. X
19.
1X?
19.
Yeah.
I remember I had to learn the Roman numerals because of fucking Rocky.
This came out in 2008. In this episode, Homer tries to vote for Barack Obama, only to have a voting machine record his selection as John McCain several times. Funny story, 2012, video footage emerged of a Pennsylvania machine switching a vote for Obama to one for his Republican opponent, Mitt Romney.
That's pretty crazy.
That's
So
fucking
2008,
nuts.
they call fucking voter fraud. Faulty voter machines.
Faulty voter machines, and it's the same. It was the same. Like the touch screen's wrong. So whenever he pushed Obama in this video, it would just like magically just swipe up to Romney. Just boop, boop.
And not to mention, it's Obama. Like it's Obama in the fucking cartoon, and it's an Obama in real life. Like that's fucking weird, man.
Well, he was like 2008 is when Obama was elected, so he was already president. He was either already president or he was elected president in 2008, right?
Yeah,
It'd been like
that's when he was elected.
November 2008, I think, something like that. But still,
Dan would know.
Yeah.
something like that. He gives the yeah. That means we're close enough.
Yeah.
We're close enough.
Close enough.
But yeah, he called it, or the Simpsons called it.
Yeah, that one's fucking nuts.
Wait, you mean that they called that a electronic machine would have an error in it that switched
Against
votes
Barack
from
Obama.
one-
They called pretty much the exact same thing that happened. Like you press one button and it goes to the other one. Like that's exactly what they showed.
They almost got both names right because if you pressed for Barack Obama, like it went to someone else, and that's what the Simpsons did. Except instead of Mitt Romney, Simpsons said it with John McCain.
Wait, what? Didn't you say it was Mitt Romney?
Yeah, in real life, it was Mitt Romney in the real footage.
No. Are you sure? I thought it was Mitt Romney in the cartoon.
No, it's John McCain in the cartoon.
No, backwards.
Oh.
McCain real
Yeah,
life.
that's.
Romney
I'm looking at the picture right now.
or
Are
McCain.
you?
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, McCain, Simpsons,
Yeah,
Romney real life.
Mitt Romney real life. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We got it.
But like,
Just
you're
so
like
that's-
okay, like
that one's a little more. It's got a little more to it. It's a little more
That one's got some balls to it.
because you're think, but your voting machines are supposed to be non-biased and they're supposed to work perfectly. They're not like you can't like not. So
I
you can't-
know, but that's what's funny about the joke. And when they wrote it, is funny is that like, no, electronics could totally do this. That's just something that would be funny to write. Like, I don't see that as being a prediction as much as it's just.
Well, it was a
You know what, though?
It's a
Like,
conspiracy.
Because
Thing.
well, the joke happened in 2008, and it actually happened in 2012. Maybe it's like the fucking, maybe it's like, you know what I mean? People watching Star Trek back in the day and got ideas for inventions. Maybe somebody was watching this and was like, hey, that's a great fucking idea.
Science fiction becomes science
Well,
fact.
the thing is that Barack
Yeah.
Obama was elected in 2008, correct? That was his first term.
Yeah.
And of course, they're going to run him for re-election as the second one. That's what they always do.
yeah.
So
So the
it's
probabilities
not-
of like you can guarantee like you put one name on there, it's going to be right.
Yeah, that's true.
I know what you're saying, Dan, but at some point when you're doing all these little things, it starts to add up to like it gets a little ridiculous about how much you're guessing here.
Well, but this, to Dan's point too, like this show has been around for fucking 30 years.
Forever, 100%.
You know what I
forever.
mean? Like,
Which is
so-
a feat in itself to write this many episodes of anything.
100%. Yeah,
and,
they got like
and the odd one's still entertaining as well, so that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Well, let's just say, okay, like they had their heyday was early on.
earlier for sure.
All right, this one. The Simpsons movie, 2007, predicted the NSA spying scandal. When the Simpsons family is forced to go into hiding following their escape from the EPA biodome enclosing Springfield, the NSA locates Marge and the kids by listening in on one of their conversations. 6 years later, Edward Snowden blows the whistle on the government that this is what the NSA is actually doing.
That they have that capability to do for sure.
That's what they're doing. Simpsons are making a
Okay,
off-the-cuff
what year was
joke.
that? What year was that?
2007. 6 years
2007.
before.
1998, Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman.
Fuck,
did the
that's a good
exact
movie.
same
That's a
thing.
great movie.
And that's a wicked movie.
So I would not say that was much a prediction, as they probably just based it off of that, because that room looks exactly like the room that they used in the NSA room for Enemy of the State. So I wouldn't say that so much as a prediction as just being like, that looks like good. That's logical thinking.
Here's the thing then. I was gonna save this for later, but we keep jumping into it, so we'll kind of like I'll jump into it now a little bit. We have all these things coming up, and it makes me wonder that if like there's people who are making these shows and like doing, and people in power and these writers and stuff that are kind of in the know of information that's not readily available. Because we talked about how like Family Guy was making Kevin Spacey like rapey jokes for years, and even like Weinstein jokes, and then it all like it comes like it's known in small circles kind of thing. And I wonder if that hits Hollywood a little bit.
Oh, totally. Like same with Cosby. People have been making fucking Cosby jokes for years before Hannibal Buress did his special, and it got, attention got brought to it.
But I'm sure that's information that just kind of gets around Hollywood, Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure the predilections of movie stars and all that stuff, like you've probably been to some Hollywood parties and you just hear stuff or see things, and then it just kind of gets out there. It's just these people that run in these kinds of circles and are privy to that kind of information it makes sense just to make jokes about it, or something to be like, hey, maybe we should bring attention to this. Maybe that'll do something.
Yeah.
In that movie, in the Will Smith movie, was it the NSA? Did they call it the NSA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the NSA.
Right.
That's even crazier.
Well, by that point,
they were probably doing it then.
Well, by that point, I think a lot of people have been saying that for years and years, that the government's spying on you, and just as the years go by, more and more people believe that it's true, until you actually find out that it's kind of true in at least some ways, for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think in that one, maybe not so much a time traveler, but it's such a popular show that kind of it gets the credit, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Just calling it out.
Well, like, and I get like some of that stuff, you know what I mean, for the NSA to be spying on people. I'm assuming conspiracy theorists had been assuming that for fucking years.
For years, yeah,
right,
for sure.
But there's weird shit like on a 2014 episode of The Simpsons where Homer gets chosen to be a referee of the World Cup. Homer ends up cheating, gets arrested, and Germany wins the tournament in 2014 in the cartoon, right? And then in 2015, 2 FIFA presidents get fucking accused of widespread corruption, get banned from any fucking soccer-related activities, and Germany wins the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, there's nobody, like, that's fucking crazy.
Well, here at the time, Germany's been like a soccer powerhouse at the same time for quite a while. So betting on Germany is like,
Germany's always fucking bridesmaids and never fucking getting married, buddy. Like,
that's very true. But I'll give this on the side. I'll err with the Dan's side on this one. If you look at that tournament, I would say historic, like in that time, there's really 4 teams that you could, sink your money on almost and be like, one of these 4 teams is going to win. So you've got like a 1 in 4 chance of guessing the
I don't know,
winner.
Because that's tough to say, man. Because you look at fucking that same year, the defending champs got knocked out fucking first round.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? Like it's and just the fact that, okay, so why even put Homer getting arrested? Like why would Homer's being arrested have any outcome on the fucking match, right? Whereas, you know what I mean, how that correlates to the 2 FIFA presidents actually getting banned and stuff like that. It's
well,
just
FIFA
weird.
has always been kind of accused, or it's always been kind of suspected that FIFA is widely corrupt.
Yeah.
It's not a shot in the dark where they were like, oh yeah, this is definitely like spot on. It's something that's always kind of been there. Yeah, like any professional sport, really.
Well, no, like not the refs, but the fucking like the high brass. Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. I just find that that to me, because there's nobody, you can't just guess that. You know what I mean? You can't be like, oh, okay, well.
There's a lot to go wrong.
Why would the presidents? Why would the refs be corrupt? I think the presidents would be the first one to start with.
Well, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like
refs have been
everybody knew that the fucking presidents have been corrupt, and you know what I mean. And
Right, and that's what they. Yeah, then isn't that what they?
No, Homer
Wait,
was.
I don't
corrupt
understand.
in the fucking in the fucking Simpsons episode, and he was the ref.
Right, but they were talking about the presidents, which the presidents did turned out to be absolutely corrupt.
Oh fuck yeah!
Right?
And that's what I think. What you were saying, everybody's known that for years, right?
Smartwatches. Season 6, episode 19.
Yeah,
Lisa's
that's
wedding.
Another lame one.
Yeah, this one is more of a science fiction becomes science fact, and it's probably been done a few times before The Simpsons. But
James Bond had one of those in the fucking
Yep.
in the 50s.
I just go back. Dick Tracy had one. He's always had one. That was like one of his famous little things. Was having the little video watch.
Yeah.
That was his little gadget.
Dick Tracy's was a badass. He doesn't get enough credit, man.
He's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I would probably. I don't know. I think his movie was the movie that they made with like Warren Beatty.
Yeah, it was great.
Who was
And
it? Robert De Niro was in that one
yeah.
too.
Madonna's in it, and isn't Sean Penn in it too?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was ahead of its time.
Oh fuck, is Pacino in that movie too?
I don't think so. I think it's just Robert De Niro. They had a bunch of people in there. Kathy Bates is in there.
Oh man,
They had a whole bunch of people.
We need to fucking.
That was back when
rewatch that.
Warren Beatty had some real clout. Like,
Yeah, he was a badass. He was the perfect person to play Dick Tracy.
All right, I got here's one. In 1994, in the episode Lisa on Ice, a personal digital assistant called the Apple Newton is used to write down the words "beat up Martin," only for it to change to "eat up Martha."
that was a really funny joke.
that was great.
I remember that one.
Autocorrect wasn't a thing.
Yes, it was.
1994.
They had those little those PDAs were starting to become big. Like they were still prototypes, but they had that, and they knew that that was already in the works. Like handwriting prediction, like that was already a feature that was planned to be in the future of these little Palm Pilots. So that's not a huge thing, I don't think.
So when was this episode?
It wasn't a big step. It wasn't a huge step.
94.
94. Yeah. So and I think it was in 93. I was reading this that Microsoft's word processor came out with a brand new autocorrect, and it autocorrected your typing in 93. So
no, the handwriting prediction thing, that was the thing with the PDAs. Like they were starting to because they started having little PDAs and stuff like that, which were supposed to be the next big thing, but they just weren't ready yet. And then it's just a logical step to be like, well, if you can write stuff on it and save that note for later, when will it translate it into text or, be able to do that? It's just kind of I feel like that's just a logical step. It's not like a super hardcore prediction or being like, we have these in the future,
Right. Yeah. So in 93.
That was, he eat up Martha and then he chucks it at Martin as.
All right, why don't we go to...
What we need to focus more time on is fucking the cast of Dick Tracy. Fucking James Caan is in this. Dick Van Dyke, Dustin Hoffman.
Everybody was in
Al
that movie.
Pacino. Jesus, I got to watch this tonight. This is fucking unreal. Yeah, it's Pacino's in it, not De Niro. Yeah. But still.
Oh, it was? Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah. Unless I can't, but fucking, that's a bananas cast, man.
All right.
Everybody. It was Disney and Warren Beatty. You just had
That's fucking unreal.
We're back on DuckTales again.
I think we should switch the topic of this podcast to fucking Dick Tracy.
We're done.
All
Let's
right.
just talk about
Okay.
Dick Tracy.
So in 2000, this one, they predicted Bart. It's called Bart to the Future. And Bart travels to the future 2030, in which Donald Trump becomes president of the United States.
Yeah. This one.
They predict Donald Trump 19 years before it happens, or 18 years before it happens. And the part for me is there's a part in that episode of him coming down the escalator, and he does a wave, a very Donald wave, and then goes out. And in real life, in October or in 2015, when he announces the presidential campaign, same as in the episode, he's coming down an escalator and almost does the same exact movements in this real footage.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
No, and there's people in the background like dropping papers and shit like that. And it happened in the real picture, and it's happening in the fucking drawing too. Like it's.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's unbelievable. I just saw that.
Crazy. Yeah, like it's. I was reading some stuff that it can be debunked though. Like it's.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
When they wrote that episode, Donald Trump was actually talking about running for presidency. He's been talking about it for a long time. And when they wrote that episode, when they write these episodes are a year before they air them. So that year that they were writing it, they thought, hey, wouldn't it be really funny? Because the guys who write this show are pretty smart. Most of them are actually Harvard educated.
Yeah, they're Harvard grads.
Including Conan O'Brien, who's on that list too. There's like 24 writers on The Simpsons that went to Harvard and have various different discipline backgrounds. But they were like, hey, you know what? That's really funny. Like, he's got a funny name, Trump. He's got a punchline name. So let's make him presidency, because that would be completely insane, right, guys? And that's why it's funny. And so,
now,
but
okay, how do you explain the people dropping the sign in the left hand of the sign? Like, that's just coincidence? Like,
or those people watched the episode and they wanted to make it look like it did.
I think where that camera is perfectly that Simpson episode that I saw 15 years earlier. I remember someone dropping a sign. I'm going to drop my sign right now. The girl doesn't even look that old.
Had there been buzz about The Simpsons predicting the future before that happened? Like, had they been talking about it?
I think it's been getting more and more. I mean, what's the one, Two Bad Neighbors, the one with George H.W. Bush? He says, like, at the end or whatever, like, oh, and then I've experienced everything, and I lived to a ripe old age at 94, and he died at 94 years old.
Yeah, that's
like,
weird.
Except George H.W. Bush Sr. called his own death on there. But, I mean, how old was he then? You know, like, if you're looking at like, he's got quite a bit of wealth, so you'd probably shoot his age up. I mean, I'm sure there's mathematical equations to, like, guess, like, do a pretty good guesstimate of someone's, like, how long they're going to live. But still, like, fucking 94.
Well, no, there's no fucking way to be able to predict how long somebody's going to live.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're like, no, because, like, how old was he when he did the episode? He was probably 60?
94 is just, it's a good number. Like, I think
94 is
old.
It sounds, it's not, yeah,
living
it's
to
old,
94
but it's not complete. 95
rarity,
is too much. 94 is like, okay.
Not for people with lots of money, man. They're pumping themselves with all that the baby blood.
Yeah, that's true.
They're all that. They all live in that old.
Bushes are just keeping themselves alive with all this Saudi oil, and they're pumping.
Yeah,
that's for another day.
Okay, you want to do what? Let's do a crazy one. One that I didn't really know how to look up. So in 1998, Homer's like working out. He's like he pretty much writes an equation on a chalkboard that turns out to be it's if you work it out. Here's a quote. It's who's this guy? Shit, I forgot his name. I'll come back to me. But if you work it out, this is the quote. If you work it out, you get the mass of a Higgs boson that's only a bit larger than the nanomass of a Higgs boson actually is. So that was a physicist pretty much telling The Independent, the magazine, that equation that Homer wrote on the board is the equation for a Higgs boson, the God particle called, that wasn't discovered till 2012.
No, it wasn't discovered to actually exist until 2012. It was theorized to exist way before then. So that joke was put in by the script by the writer David Cohen, and David Cohen has a math background on the show.
So that equation was
and
written
he thought
before.
It would be funny. So he put that equation in there, and it is close to, because he was reading papers about the Higgs boson before. Like, they were publishing papers about this a long time ago during when they were writing the show. So he read that and thought it would be funny to be like, why don't I write this in here? You know, they put in tons of jokes and references in their show. It's just the way that show works. And that was one of the ones he said that would be funny to write in there, and just put that in there. And
so why did it take so?
You get close to the atomic. You get close to the atomic weight, not the exact atomic weight, which they've now like confirmed, but it's just close to. And that was the equation that was popular. A guess. That was a good guess. That what it was.
No, but this is before the CERN like actually working on the Higgs boson. So someone made this equation that was
they theorize it. It's like when Einstein predicted that the gravity works in waves.
Yeah, and then we didn't discover it till...
Or when he predicted that there were black holes.
But
he knew that they were out there, but they weren't confirmed to exist until later.
Did he write an equation for it? Or there was just something that he theorized on?
Oh, there's probably an equation for it, but I'm not an equation to predict the existence of.
So
well, that's just how that he existed. Like gravity has a certain.
Oh no, I get that, but I'm saying so this Higgs boson equation that Simpson does.
Mm-hmm. There's equations out there that would be like
before, is what you're saying.
Yeah. But
CERN wasn't started in 2008, so that's
CERN was the CERN wasn't started, but that was the to confirm that it existed. Like they theorized that it existed, and they're like, if it does exist, this equation would probably nail down. This is our closest guess to what it exists, and they put it in papers. But then CERN was, and CERN's like to confirm
wherever Matt. Was his name? Was it Greening or Groening? What did we say?
No, Groening doesn't write the show. He's a creator. No, he's the creator of the show. But he doesn't write it.
Okay, 1 second, Dana. You're getting a little worked up here. Where did? So who wrote So why did it take so long for the guy who wrote this equation that Homer did? It took 16 years for it to be published. That's what I couldn't. When I went through it, I couldn't find like where this equation came from. Why it took so long before it was like mainstream. Like academia.
No, it was published in articles, like scholarly journals, which a lot of people don't read, but they are published and you probably can find them. I haven't gone in and found the exact article that it was written in. I probably could, but I'm not. But it's not like something like they just pulled it out of nowhere. The guy who wrote the joke in the script had read papers about this because he does have a math background and he's also from Harvard. And he has an advanced mathematics background. So he has read papers on this stuff. I suppose people read those kind of articles for fun or like to keep in the know. And he thought it would be funny to put that in there. He's like, this is the best guess of like, it was a quick little joke. It wasn't something that they concentrated on. It's not like it was in there, but it was just in the background.
It was essentially a throwaway scene in that episode.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, this would be a funny inside joke if people see this and then blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it's like, it wasn't something that they just pulled out of nowhere. It was something that he had already thought about and he'd already seen papers about it and be like, this would be funny in here. And yeah, so I don't think it's not so much like they pulled it from the future. They're like, this is, and it wasn't even the exact thing. It was the close to. It was not the exact atomic weight.
That's what it said. It didn't say how close to. That's why I couldn't find either. No one explained.
There's also drawings of donuts.
When you get to that size of stuff, I don't think it's going to be like, I don't know what it's going to be.
All right. Well, still cool. 16 years before.
It's like the list goes on of like these little things. Predicting Team USA's Olympic curling win, Walt Disney's acquisition of Fox. That was predicted in 98. That one's kind of
cool. Yeah,
and there must have been rumors about that then. And then that banked R. Holstrom winning the Nobel Peace Prize. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I read that one. Yeah, it's just the list goes on and on of these little things. But at the end of the day, do I think they're time traveling people? No, I think I side with Dan. At a closer look to this, you just realize these guys are just really smart.
What? You don't believe that there's time traveling fucking cartoonists that are all Jesus.
That work on a comedy show?
Yeah, like come on, man.
Well, that's like you get into it. People are like, how are they predicting? I've read people saying that like the show is creating reality, like people are thinking it and then kind of put it out there and then it becomes reality.
I would say that is more in my line of thinking. If you wanted to go in kind of a fringe theory, I would go on that one. There's a doctor, Bernard Bateman, who wrote a book called Connecting with Coincidence, and he puts up the theory of the psychosphere, which is basically a mental atmosphere that is the group mind in action, where you think about things and then there's enough people watch The Simpsons. It's translated into so many languages and so many people have seen the show that maybe that it actually creates its own reality. Or if anything, it inspires people to do things. You know, like, oh, you know, the episode where Homer's like an electric hammer. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I could make an electric hammer. That's a good idea. You know, so whether it actually just because of the exposure of the entire place, or the amount of exposure and the truly large numbers of people that are affected by the show, I would think that that's more in line with that has more weight behind it than a time travel theory.
The fiction becomes fact because enough people are kind of like predisposition to like that outcome already. So if you're developing something, you see this, you're like, oh, the Simpsons kind of already talked about it, so we have this. We're just gonna, I think we can do it, and then they just make it or do it.
Little Schrodinger's cat thing going on.
I can't put a lot of stock behind like their future predictions and stuff because, I mean, if you read science fiction, there have been so many accurate predictions in science fiction books that
that's science fiction becomes science fact.
There's so many. I mean, you just go through the book Neuromancer. If you go through that book by William Gibson, it has so many predictions of things that we have now or are close to having. Things like orbiting cities, space tourism, virtual reality, neural implants, the internet, digital copies of our mind, and renegade AIs. Like, that book has all of that stuff in it, and it was written in 1984. So...
Do you guys know we predicted something on our show that came true?
What was
we
it?
Predicted that comet Umanuma was
an alien spacecraft.
Yeah,
we were right on that one.
And then fucking months later, Harvard
probably listened to our podcast.
Probably.
Stole our
we
idea.
Put it out there.
We made that real.
He's like, these guys got something.
They're like, it is a weird shape. I think it's I would go with that fringe theory before I leave on. They're no Nostradamus or anything.
Just a really well written show.
Yeah,
is what it is.
And they make some good guesses.
Really smart people.
They're just really smart guys, and they make some really good guesses.
They're on the pulse of society, so they know they kind of like predict stuff that other people are predicting. You just see it firsthand because it's in a show.
When you're on, and you're on the air for 30 years,
that
so
you
many
just
episodes
said that.
Every year.
What?
They have their pulse on on society. So does that mean the show's gotten shitty because we've gotten shitty?
Yes.
Could very well be.
We've entered into the age of where reality, you can no longer make satire of it because reality is satire.
What was that Luke Wilson movie? The
Idiocracy.
Yeah. We're living in Idiocracy now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just fucking water. I just put a fresh Gatorade on my lawn there. So.
Oh man.
All right, let's wrap this one up. I've got a bunch of new reviews.
Read a few.
Love the show. 5-star review from Doug 1066 USA. Awesome show. Really enjoy. Would love more alien stuff. You got it, Doug.
More alien stuff coming up.
Killing the game, guys. 5-star review from Moose 182 from the USA. Moose. The ATT group is laid back, do their fair amount of research, explain situations well, and work hard to hit every angle of the theories and conspiracies. Grab a beer, tune in to the theorists, and enjoy. These guys are the best extraterrestrial, supernatural theorists out there. You won't be disappointed unless you're a scrub. Don't be a scrub.
Definitely don't be a scrub.
Be a scrub.
We don't want no scrubs.
You don't.
A scrub is a guy that can't take no love from me.
In the back of my ride, the best friends ride, trying to
holler at me. Something like that. TLC.
Gone too soon.
These guys. 5-star review from Speedbird90 from Australia. These guys are awesome. So awesome, in fact, that if I was in jail with these guys, I would protect these guys from Big Bubba playing with their assholes. I'm not gay, but I would bend over for them and take it dry. If I got abducted with these guys, I would take all their probings just to say thanks for the awesome work they have done. Guys, I love you. Keep up the good work.
Wow.
What a fucking legend.
You're a champ, buddy.
We
All
would
right.
definitely get raped in jail. So
I love how he had to throw in. I'm not gay.
no homo. It's all good.
No homo.
It's all good. No homo. We get it. It's cool.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
No.
not that there's
Nothing
anything
to
like
know.
that.
No.
Okay,
that's the last one I'm
that's
gonna
the,
review.
that's the new standard for podcast reviews. If you don't go up to that standard, I don't,
Yeah, that was phenomenal. Can we give him a 5-star review of his review? That was fucking
Yeah.
that's
fantastic.
5-star,
5-star review of your 5-star review.
yeah.
Listen, while you're bent over, I'd grip the shaft to make sure he finishes quick. There you go. That's a matching 5-star review for what was his name again? I closed it. Anyways, good review. Patreon, new Patreon. We got Stacy Hines, Tim Harmon, Seraphim, Jordan Bolin, Armageddon Stonecock.
Yeah, we read them last time. It's too good.
Did we? Yeah, I had to read it again. It was at the bottom of the list.
This is too good.
So thank
So
you
nice, I had to
guys,
say it twice.
Patreon supporters. We have tons of content, hours of additional content.
And we have
I listened to the Dungeons and Dragons episode and I could not stop laughing. I hadn't actually listened to it until a couple
I
days
still
ago,
haven't heard
and I
it.
started listening to it, and it is really funny.
It is really funny.
I couldn't stop laughing.
I want to.
listening
Man,
thing.
that was a blast. I'd like to play again.
God, that was so funny.
we're gonna try to
It was
get
a good
back
time.
into it now that we're all set up. We should be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. That's, oh my god!
I think though that if we the next time we do one, we have to do one where there is no you. Like you have to talk. You're your character the whole time playing the game. Like any time.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
there
the
is
way.
no
that
break.
was the rule. That's the way
Oh,
it
no,
was.
we're
we
doing
said
it. You guys
only-
are doing it. It was
We
doing
said
pretty
only
good.
when you're like in
You're making
game
an
mode
action.
and you're talking in character and you're making an action. You had to be in character.
Yeah, we were all doing really well until Zelly just started to fucking throw a fireball in somebody's face and just fuck everything up.
That was priceless. That was really good.
Oh, that made for the best.
What are you gonna do? Firebolt. Roll to 1.
It was the best because it played so well because you could hear the disappointment in our
Like,
silence.
I don't think I was. I'm pretty sure I was yelling.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got called every swear you could ever make up.
It was pretty fun.
Okay, well,
Yeah, you guys could have just stealth past that point, but Zell was like, "Nah,
Yeah.
fireball is full."
yeah, man. I don't. I'm game whenever you guys are. That was a fucking blast.
We'll figure out a time.
I think I got to make a new guy though.
Yeah,
Last-
we'll figure it out.
Lastly, anyone listening, help us out. We want to go to AlienCon. We want a panel. We don't want a headline. We just want a noon power hour. So if you want to see us at AlienCon LA 2019, mid-June, go onto your social media feeds, tag the AlienCon, let them know that you want to see us. They're currently reviewing our application to have a panel. Let them know you want to see your boys. We'll see what we can do. We're gonna go either way, but it'd be pretty cool to do a power hour at the 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock show there in the Orion room or something, whatever, one of the small rooms.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have a liquor license.
There's nothing against drinking in the Airbnb before the show.
That's fair.
I'll just bring in orange juice full of vodka.
Oh, man, they were pretty
Juice
fucking
full
finicky.
vodka.
I was getting felt
Vodka
up
full
every
of
time I
orange
tried to
juice.
get in there.
Yeah, they're a little stingy in there. All right, I got Zell's prolapse of the week before we finish off here.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's going to Kelsey Kendall. She sent us a Christmas gift in the form of PayPal dollars.
Ooh.
And with a
That's cool.
message, Merry Christmas from your prolapsers in West Texas. So thank you very much, Kelsey. And it says your plural, like prolapser and plural. So maybe they all went together. But there's only one name, so only one name.
Oh,
Kelsey Kendall.
Thank you.
pulled it all
Prolapser of the week. All right, that's all I got. I don't got no music this week.
together. Do we tell them about
Tell them about what?
Vegas?
We're
Vegas.
Going to Vegas.
January 31st to February
3rd.
February 3rd. We're going to be in Vegas.
On stage with Elton John.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Live from MGM. Getting escorted out by security.
That sounds
Sounds
about right.
about right.
So if you are in the Vegas area, you want to hang out with us, come on. Or you've been planning a trip, why not come at the end of January? It's going to be a fun time. We're going to maybe drive up to Area 51. We're going to go see the Nuclear Museum. We're going to do some paranormal things. Maybe record a podcast or two while we're down there. And, of course, have some good old tall boys.
A few tallies.
Get meat draw drunk.
All right, that's all I got.
That's it. So thanks for listening, guys. Keep those eyes on the skies.
Yeah.
After hours.
Woo!
Four-man crew is
Time.
back.
Excellent. Andrew, what's the best ambulance story you got for us?
I don't know, man. It's Christmas was fucking depressing. It's a busy
Because
time.
Santa didn't give you any gifts or what?
No, yeah, definitely. First of all, I didn't get any gifts. I got fucking gypped.
Yeah. Well, it's because
He
you
didn't-
don't believe in his magic.
Unfortunately, Santa didn't stop by my bedroom that I rent with